Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. Yes, that's right. We're live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to episode number 980. That's right, episode number 980 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. The Walking with Purpose live edition, live again today from Red Morton Park because the sun will be setting in about 35 to 40 minutes or so. So I'll get at least 2 laps in tonight, maybe three, probably three. It'll probably start getting a little darker on the third lap. I have a pretty serious topic to discuss here today. And, this is something that I've wanted to talk about in great detail for a while, and I've been kind of talking about it in various different ways throughout a lot of my content. But I really want to focus today on explaining more so what this really is. I'm waiting, got some people passing on by. I really want to focus on what this really means. Because there is such a thing as negativity bias, and that's what the topic is today. We're going to be talking about, how negativity bias, affects, normal, happy people. It does affect normal, happy people, but it actually even more so affects the individual that is struggling and suffering from negativity bias. We're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But before we get to that, we have some other updates here today. ABW Welding. That's a loud diesel. I want to wait a second because those two ladies across the way there, they're speaking loud, and when I hear other loud sounds, I get distracted very easily. All right. Anyway. So, yeah, some updates here. Just a few hours ago, Don and I finished recording episode number 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast with special guest Hot Facts with Robert Reese. So the show was recorded. Robert was there. And the show, actually, it was our shortest show yet. But it was still, I think it was an hour and 36 or hour and 37 minutes long. It was over an hour and a half, less than an hour and 40 minutes. But it was a great show. We caught up. We talked about a lot of things. And I really wanted people to have the opportunity to get to know this man that I've known for a couple of years. Okay, somebody's like revving up like a drag racer or something. I don't know. It just sounds loud. That's why I like going on the trail. I just didn't have time to go to the trail today. I don't have to deal with these loud, obnoxious vehicles or motorcycles. Anyway, it's all part of the game, right? All part of the gig. I get it. But yeah, so that was a great interview, and I really want people to get to know Hot Facts with Robert Reese because we're going to be working much closer with him and his wonderful wife, Amelia. Don really likes Amelia, and I think she's an amazing person too. And the one thing that we forgot to talk about, I had mentioned at the beginning of the recording, we were going to talk about, bringing Amelia and Robert onto the GNA executive team. That is going to happen, but we just lost track and, said we were going to talk about it and we didn't. That happens sometimes. But there will always be around too in the future. And I'm also going to be doing some live streams with Robert in the weeks and months ahead. So stay tuned for that. I'll update you folks here on GNA2, Genuine Personal Development, and the main channel where the podcast will be released this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. Link is below in the description if you haven't subscribed over there. If you do subscribe, make sure you bang the bell and select the notifications so you don't miss anything the moment we go live on either channel that you do this to, or when we put out a pre-recorded video or a premiere or anything, you'll get a notification as long as you bang the bell and then you select all. Because by default, when you hit the bell, if you don't tap all, you have personal notifications, and that's the same thing as occasional notifications. You won't get them all. You'll get some, maybe most, but not all. So you want all, you got to click on all. And it's going to be worth it for you to select all on these channels here, because we're going to do nothing but keep it positive. That's what we've always done. That's what we will always do. Yes, in the past, we have called out people. I'm not saying we're not going to do it again, because that's just part of, trying to help people that are struggling. In this case, in regards to the topic today, they're struggling having a negativity bias, right? And, sometimes we got to call people out like that and use them as the example of what not to be, right? But anyway, the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, new episode number 3, will be released this Wednesday on the other channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, link below in the description, at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Great show. And again, we thank you, Hot Facts with Robert Reese, for taking the time out of your busy day and lifestyle to record this with us on a Sunday. That's when we prefer to record these. But if you want to be a guest on the podcast and Sundays don't work for you, we can find another time on a Saturday, Friday. We typically want to record these by Sunday at the latest. But if that doesn't work, it has to be done on the day before that, because I need Monday and Tuesday to prep other things. I need to extract the audio from the video to upload to the audio only podcast platforms, and that takes a little time. So if you want to be a guest on the show, email me at eliasmelas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. The link's below in the description. Email's below in the description. And share your interest, and if we feel you're a good fit for the show, we'll get back to you and arrange you to be on the show in the future. And again, Sundays are preferred, but it can be on a Saturday before that Sunday, or Friday or Thursday. It just can't be after Sunday. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Don and I had a great day today. We had a few errands to run. We got out of the house, and then we came back, recorded the podcast, and now Dawn's at home resting. She's not going to probably be here on this show today. She's taking a nap. It's been a long day for her. It's been a long day for me too, but I'm still going. Setting up the studio to do the podcasts or live streams with Dawn, it's a lot of extra work, but it's worth it. So I did all that, put it together, tore it back down, already uploaded the podcast video to the other channel, and it's all ready to rock and roll. And now I'm out here walking, and I'm going to go home. Dawn's already eaten dinner. I'm going to eat my dinner, and then finally relax. So anyway, let's talk more about, negativity bias, right? So let's first do the best we can to explain what having a negativity bias means. Now, there are many definitions. If you go and Google this, there are many definitions. They all lead back to the same thing. But in my opinion, the best way to describe it is to say that people with a negativity bias, they value negativity and negative events over anything positive or positive events. Okay? So people that have a negativity bias are constantly running from a negative mindset, a negative mind frame. And it doesn't matter, who approaches them in the most positive way. You can approach a person with a negativity bias and be really nice to them and try to uplift them, try to encourage them to better themselves, try to, help them in a positive way. And they are the types of people that will snap and say, "You think I need help? Why are you trying to help me? What do you want from me? Why are you being so nice to me?" Right? Well, people by nature are supposed to be nice. Like, we weren't born to be mean, right? Being nice and kind to others is a natural, normal, everyday thing, right? Now, in my opinion, what do I feel causes someone to have a negativity bias and stay in that negativity bias mode, right? I think a lot of it, and I've shared my thoughts on this before, I think people that are stuck in a negative rut are stuck in that negative rut because of past trauma, typically trauma stemming from their parents and during their childhood, right? And it's not just that. It could be any traumatic event. It could be going through a divorce, right? It could be being bullied in grammar school and high school, right? And people that have experienced that, are gonna have a negativity bias, and they're going to, see the world through a lens filled with negativity, and they're going to start to see negativity being the normal, and it's not. Negativity is not the normal, right? But people that have a negativity bias, are so used to things going negative that it becomes their norm. And if you try to bring positivity into their life, it upsets them, it triggers them. They don't know what to do with it. They may think you're inauthentic, right? They may think you're trying to get something from them when, most people that are nice are just nice to be nice, right? But these people have been screwed over by other shitty negative people that they assume even all the nice people are shitty people too, right? That's because of your negativity bias, right? Not everyone is on this planet to screw you over, right? But if you're stuck in that mindset of having a negativity bias, it's never going to get better for you. And all you're going to do is attract more negative people that have a negative bias also. Like I've always said in the past, like attracts like, right? Now, interestingly enough, how do I understand this so well? Well, because, as when I look for topics to discuss, I'll Google search things, right? I have many different resources that I seek out topics on, or I just brainstorm, right? But I typically will not talk about something that I personally haven't experienced myself. So in this case, in discussing, negativity biases amongst people, I've been that way myself. When I was, younger, in my preteens and my teens, and even into my early to mid 20s, I didn't know it back then, but I know now I had a negativity bias. I was looking at the world in a very negative way. Redwood City Police just pulled in. I was looking at the world in a negative way. Why? Because when I was raised, and I don't blame my mother for this at all, because I understand what she was trying to do. My mother raised me to be kind and nice to everyone, no matter how mean they are to me, right? She didn't raise me to stand up to people. She raised me to just basically kill people with kindness. And yes, that should be the proper way to handle things. But in this crazy modern world we live in, even back then, even, when I was little, 40 years ago, 45 years ago, I'm 51 now, right? The world was already changing. And killing people with kindness, typically stopped working. It didn't work anymore, and it doesn't really even work today because we have the internet, and you could try to kill people with kindness nowadays, and all they do is call you a phony. All they say is that you're just pretending to be nice to get me to stop or to shut up or whatever. You're not going to silence me or whatever, right? And again, they react that way because of their negativity bias, right? But yeah, when I was growing up, my mother taught me to be kind to others no matter how mean they are to me. Kill them with kindness. And I never stood up to anyone. And because I never stood up to anyone, people kept poking at me, and they kept on, treating me poorly and just doing stupid shit, right? And it hurt my feelings, and it affected me in grammar school, and it affected me. Didn't affect my grades or anything like that, but it affected, how I felt about myself. And it affected how I saw the world. I saw the world as being mean, when the truth of the matter is, it's just a few people trying to jerk my chain, right? Now, I can say that now at 51, but at age 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you don't know any better. You're too young to understand this shit, right? So, because I was so nice to people, I always felt that, hey, if you're going to be nice to people, they're going to be nice to you. And if they're not nice to you at first, keep being nice. Eventually, they'll be nice to you. Well, some people, the nicer you are to them, or the nicer I was to them, the meaner they got to me. And now I'm beginning to realize that they had a negativity bias, right? Maybe the way that they were raised by their parents, or how they were taught to handle things, is to stand up to people or to not let people jerk you around. Now, a little kid is not going to understand what that means. You tell a little kid, stand up for yourself, they're going to look at it, okay, well, if we need to kick somebody's ass in grammar school, we're going to do that. And that's not what it means. Standing up to someone is saying, hey, look, you can call me all the names that you want, but I don't care. That's the right way to handle it, right? Ignoring it or even trying to kill them with kindness and say, hey, come on, man. Come on. You don't need to be that mean. I'm trying to be nice to you, right? Like you're trying to, be nice to someone that doesn't even understand what being nice is or sees nice as, something phony, right? They see your kindness as weakness and not even genuine. You see, I've handled certain situations, certain similar situations I experienced in grammar school during this time that I'm talking about. I handled certain situations on YouTube similarly. I would approach people that have been mean and hang on, somebody's over there walking. They don't know which way to go. Well, I'm going to pass them. So yeah, I would try to take the nice approach with these people. And again, they saw my kindness as weakness. And they're stuck in a rut with a negativity bias. So, eventually I stopped even trying to reason with people out here that have been mean, because I realize they have a negativity bias, and you can't, whatever you do can't change that. Only they can change that. Then they have to want to change that. And right now they don't want to change that. And they may never want to change that. Right? And that's sad, right? That's sad because we wish nothing but the best for everyone, right? But these people with a negativity bias, especially now on the internet, they have a big voice. There's lots of them out here, right? They have a big voice spreading misinformation and disinformation. And it's hurting all of us, right? It's hurting all of us, right? So how do we tackle this? What do we do? Is there a way to correct this? I mean, I can't answer that because I've tried to do my part. And all you folks that are good, happy, everyday, honest people, you've probably encountered people like this, not only on YouTube or other social media platforms on the internet, but probably in the real world. You've probably tried to reason with these people and be nice to them, and you've noticed the nicer you are to them and the more genuine you are to them, the more mean they are to you. Right? They have a negative or negativity bias. Their mind has been automatically made up to reject anything positive or any positivity coming their way. It's basically like a computer being programmed to not accept the word positive or positivity, only negative stuff, right? You can program a computer to, delete anything, allow anything, and not allow certain things, right? Well, our brains are like a computer, right? So these people that have a negative or negativity bias in their mind, it's like their computer in their head, figuratively speaking, has not been programmed to allow positivity. It's been fully pre-programmed and stuck on negativity, right? And that's because these people see negativity as positivity, right? When most normal people in the world see positive shit as being positive, and they see negativity as negative bullshit, right? People that have a negativity bias see negativity as positive stuff. That's what fuels their fire. That's what keeps them going each and every day. And there's nothing anyone, no matter how good of a coach you are, or therapist you are, or counselor you are, or psychiatrist you are, there's no one in the world that can change these people's mindset until they want to make that change. A psychiatrist, a therapist, a coach, however you want to call it, a self-help, personal development expert, no one can help these people until they're ready for the help, until they realize that they're stuck with a negative or negativity bias. That's just who they are. That defines them, right? We're on lap number 2. Thank you so much to the 29 people that are here right now. We love you all. You know, look at how far along they've come. This is going to be the new YMCA building, and I think they're going to build the senior center over here to look similar to this very nice looking building over here. A state-of-the-art YMCA. The YMCA I went to in Redwood City is about a mile or so from here, and it was pretty nice. It's still okay. I mean, it's outdated. I will say it's outdated for the times, but it was top notch when I was growing up, but nothing like this. I mean, future home of the Veterans Memorial Building Senior Center, but yeah, it's also going to be part of the YMCA as well. Unless they move the senior center over here and then build the YMCA over there. But this is also where the swimming pool used to be, so I wonder if they're going to build like an Olympic-sized pool like I thought they were. They could host a lot of future events here if they did. I'm gonna mute. You know, that's the glorious thing about a mute button. You can mute the crazy little kids that haven't learned maturity yet, or they haven't matured yet. They haven't learned responsibility yet. It's all good. It's all good. And you know, I was just thinking, you know, earlier today, I was just thinking when I decided to do this topic finally. I was like, you know, I feel bad for people that, you know, are stuck in this negativity bias, that are stuck in this rut where, you know, they lack self-love, self-respect. You know, they lack self-esteem. Some of them, many of them, feel this way because they're lacking purpose. They don't know what their purpose is. Even if they have a job, they're only doing that job because they don't have a choice. The job that they're doing has nothing to do with their purpose. You know? And I feel bad. I feel bad for these people, even though a lot of these people, you know, cause a lot of issues for, you know, normal, happy, average, everyday people like myself. A lot of these people cause a lot of issues, you know. Furthermore, on Facebook, I got to share this because I feel even some of my Facebook friends have a negativity bias, especially when it comes to, you know, President Trump. Like, I think a lot of the people that support Trump, I think a lot of the MAGAs have a negative or negativity bias, because most of the stuff that I've seen from these people lately, you know, the MAGAs, like I made a posting saying the stock market keeps tanking. Everyone is losing in their 401s, right? And there's this one guy on my Facebook. His name is Tom. I'm not going to say his last name. He's been saying, I made a comment because there was this other lady, Rhonda, that mentioned that she hasn't lost any money in her investments. I posted that everyone's pretty much losing money. Most people are losing money, if not everyone, right? Even people that have mutual funds are losing a little bit of money. I mean, the stock market literally has gone from like 42 to 30, to 42,000 to 30. Actually, it wasn't it at 44, then it went to 42, now it's at 38. The Dow crashed like 2,200 plus points, I believe, on Friday. And so, this lady Rhonda said, well, I haven't lost anything. I've gained 11%. I said, well, you must, be diversified in mutual funds, because that's what I do. And, even then, people with mutual funds have even lost a little bit. Not as much as people that are investing in higher risk stocks, individual stocks, right? And then this Tom guy says, you don't know what you're talking about, right? I've made money. Okay. Then he put out his company that he invests through. I'm not going to mention it here. I don't want to create any privacy issues, right? And he was saying that he hasn't lost money; he's made money. And then my friend Shane, showed the 30-day graph of, basically he has an investment portfolio through a company that owns the companies the portfolio of stocks are run through. I forgot what that's called. It's basically similar to a mutual fund, but it's not called a mutual fund. But you might as well call it a mutual fund. It's a combination of stocks and other aspects, right? My friend Shane goes, well, you're lying, Tom, because here's the graph of the last 30 days. But Tom's sitting there going off and saying, Trump and Musk forever, or you liberals are crap. This dude is going off, and I'm sitting there saying, Shane, looks like Tom is triggered again, right? I mean, this is the thing. Like, these people are stuck like in a negativity bias. It's like they know they've lost money. Everyone's lost money, some more than others. And instead of having a reasonable conversation, they feel the need to say, you're wrong, and you don't know what you're talking about, when, come on. I mean, even a blind man can see how Trump has tanked the stock market and how the economy's gone to shit because of Trump, right? And now they're even having rallies. They had a bunch of rallies across the country yesterday. I'll probably share more about that another time. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's like, Shane and I are slightly on the left. We're more down the middle, but we're slightly on the left. And Shane used to be conservative, but when Trump first came around, he's like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this, right? But here's the thing. Shane and I don't have a negativity bias. If Trump does something that's good, we'll talk about it. He's done one or two things that are good, but he's done like 100 other things that are just horrible and make no sense and are crashing our stock markets, are affecting our retirement investment portfolios, right? Or investment portfolios in general, right? Now gas is starting to go back up again. Things are starting to go back up. Right? Here's the thing. I'm not trying to criticize anyone, but I think people need to be honest and real And, not say something is wrong when it's right. I think the only reason why they do that is because they have a negativity bias, where anyone that's different than they are, like for example, with the MAGAs, if you're not a MAGA, it doesn't matter if you're right about everything and they're wrong. They will just say you're wrong by default, right? That's a negativity bias right there. And that's why, like even Shane's saying, like it's not even worth having a conversation with these people because it's unreasonable. It doesn't make any sense, right? I'm seeing people that are saying, "Oh, the stock market crashing is part of the deep state, and it's not real." Are you fucking kidding me? Have you seen everyone's retirement portfolios? Now, the people that are talking like this are on disability, and they don't have to. They don't have stocks or anything like that, right? That's a negativity bias right there. It is. It's a negativity bias. Just because it doesn't affect you, because let's say you're on government assistance and you don't have a retirement plan like most people do, doesn't mean that it's not happening, but you're saying it's the deep state, it's not real, this is fake news. Well, I really wish it was fake news because my portfolio wouldn't have taken a little hit lately. And it only took a little hit because it's mutual funds. It's not high risk stocks like some people. Interestingly enough, I'm not going to mention any names or anything. This is just because it aligns with the topic, right? There was somebody out on YouTube that I've known for a while that had a decent amount of money and basically made two huge investments. He had a huge tip, I guess, and he made two huge investments that he felt were almost just guaranteed to double his money, and he lost it all because he risked it in high risk stocks, right? That's not something that after you hit a certain age, that's not something I would do. The only time, like I've said before, in my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving anyone advice on this, but I'm just saying I personally would not, this is what I did. I stopped investing in high risk stock in my retirement plans by the age of 30. Right? Now, some people say, hey, you can risk a little bit more in your 30s. Probably, but I did well in my 20s. I was working at Costco. I had everything 100% in Costco stock, and it really took off. And it kept going up, and yeah, it was all good. But then at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it beyond my 30s with the high risk stock. I'm going to diversify to mutual funds because now I've got some money, more money to play with, and I can make more steady money over the course of time instead of risking losing it all by going high risk, right? You got to think of it in the long term or for the long term. And this is how people, in my opinion, should really think. You should look at things not for the short term, for the long term, for the long run, right? A lot of people think about how much money can I make now? How quickly can I make that money? I'm not going to create on YouTube if I don't make this amount of money, per month starting right away. Okay? It's the wrong way to look at it because the more patient you are, okay, and the more time you put into something, right, the more it's going to pay off for you in the end, and it's going to be sustainable long term. I've always said that. I stand tall on that. I almost didn't come out tonight because it was a long day. Dawn and I got out and I did walk a little bit, but I'm glad I did because I'm feeling really good on this walk. Feeling really good. The sun's starting to go down. It'll probably get dark after the next lap. I'll probably do the third lap. But yeah, I'm just really, I have a soft spot for anyone that's struggling. And that even includes people that have come at me, or people that have tried to knock me down or take from me, or, people that have done me wrong, right? I have a soft spot for them. I gotta wait a second, somebody's coming by. I have a soft spot for those people. Even though those people typically don't have a soft spot for anyone that is happy or normal, like I was saying, because of their negativity bias, right? I can't change how I am and how I feel about people. I can only pray that the people that are stuck in this negativity bias eventually snap out of it, right? And seek out the help that they need. No one can help you until you start helping yourself. You have to want to stop being negative in order to become positive, and in order to even embrace positivity as positivity. These people, like I said earlier, they embrace negativity as positivity. They got it all backwards, right? And it saddens me. It breaks my heart because everyone deserves happiness. Everyone deserves happiness, and everyone can be happy as long as they choose to be happy. All that matters is how you feel and see yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about you. If I let other people's opinions regarding how they feel about me, or the way I look, or the way I talk, or what I do, if I allowed that to get to me, I'd probably be dead right now, first of all, with the amount of people that have said that. But if not, then I would be someone that would fall victim of being in a negative, I'm stuck in my throat, in a negative bias state of mind. And I've already been there in my younger days. My preteens, my teens, my 20s. Because I would see happy people and I was jealous. I saw my friends with girlfriends, I was jealous that they weren't spending time with me. That's a negativity bias right there, right? I don't ever want to go back to that, because looking back, not only was it stupid, but, it's just a real miserable place to be, right? It feels so much better to be yourself, and the right people will come into your life that are meant to come into your life. If you be yourself, you're going to attract who you want to attract, right? Now, do I feel people that have a negative or negativity bias? Do I feel they're being themselves? In my opinion, no. But that's how you're behaving. That's how you're coming off. So guess what? Who are you going to attract? You're going to attract other people that have a negativity bias. Because people that are happy and positive want nothing to do with you. They may feel sorry for you just like I do. I do feel sorry for these people, right? And initially, people may try once or twice to help anyone overcome a negativity bias. But once they realize that no matter what they say or do, no matter how nice they are or what they do to help the person, they're just not ready for the help. They're not ready to overcome that negativity bias. They're just not. That's the way they're choosing to live their life right now. And again, until they choose otherwise, there's nothing you, myself, or anyone else can say or do, not even a professional, not even a licensed professional, right? Because that's what they say. When my girlfriend Dawn, was first seeking a therapist years ago, and I was helping her find one for some of the things she was struggling with, okay? That's what her therapist said. Like, you got to be ready for the help, because I can't help you unless you want to start helping yourself. I can help keep you on track, right? I can help guide you along the way. It's just like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? Just like you can also lead a heart to love, but you can't make it fall, right? Just like with a George Strait song, you can't make a heart love somebody, right? You can lead a heart to love, but you can't make it fall. It's true. Everything I'm saying here is truthful stuff that will really help people that are struggling with a negativity bias. And many of you are struggling with that. I'm debating on whether I should go on a third lap or not. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I feel like getting in the exercise. So let me know what your experiences have been. If you're here live right now, you can chat. If you're watching this on the replay, please comment. And Don and I will get back to you within 24 hours or less. Oh, man. It's a beautiful night. It's about 60 degrees. In case you're just joining us, to remind you folks once again, Don and I recorded episode number 3 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast earlier today with Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Great show. It'll be released on the main channel. Below in the description, you can find the link to the main channel, GNA Genuine Personal Development. Subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications. It'll be released on that channel this Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's not a premiere. It's just a upload that'll be released at that time. No live chat or nothing, but you can comment. And it will also be released at the same time throughout the entire, audio podcast network: Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more that are not that known, but they exist. And the podcast is everywhere. It's on most of the podcast platforms, and as we find out about newer ones, we will add it there as well manually. The company that I use, Captivate.fm, they automatically submit your podcast to the more popular sites and some of the less popular ones. But then you could take the RSS link for the RSS feed and manually submit it to anywhere you want, and it'll just automatically go there. All you do is you upload it to your host provider, which in my case is Captivate.fm, and it puts it there. You can schedule it, and it'll just go out. And if you're one that wants to listen to the audio-only version while you're driving, and you don't have YouTube Premium, you don't have background play unless you have YouTube Premium like Don and I do. So if you close your screen or move your screen away, if you put your phone on your lock screen or move to a different window without YouTube Premium, it'll stop playing. Used to not do that years ago, but they made that a feature of Premium years ago. That's actually what got me to go Premium. But I also like not having commercials, so it's all good. But if you don't have that, you can go to Spotify, you can go to Apple, you can go to iHeartRadio, you can go to Amazon Music, and you can watch it there. Or sorry, you can listen to it there through the Bluetooth of your car while you're driving, or your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and you don't need to keep your screen on. So that's why, we're putting this everywhere. We want to give people, as many different ways as possible to, be a part of our podcast and become a part of the amazing GNA network, also known as the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short, and allow us to help you with whatever you need, help you, with whatever information we have to help you personally and professionally. We have a lot of it. We have a lot of experience. Don and I do. The rest of our executive team, Sandra, Palacio, and Tia, they have a lot of experience. Robert Reese and his wife, Amelia, they have a lot of experience. And we have a lot of resources. And let me tell you, folks, knowing someone that cares and has a lot of resources and great places that you can be referred to for things that you need, you're going to have trustworthy people that are going to be working with you that are also not going to rip you off. That's what I'm all about here at the GNA. Getting people what they need, not overselling them, not underselling them, getting them value, and getting them the best price possible, a reasonable price, right? Trust me, I'm one person that will step up and speak out if I feel someone is screwing someone over, especially in the business transaction. So that's part of what you're going to get here. And you'll have a great group of friends you can talk with anytime while we're live. We're going to start some more forums. We're going to start forums on our website at some point. I'm going to do that because we're going to have a lot more control there. We do have a Reddit group that I haven't used, and I don't know if we're going to end up using it, but we are going to create our own on our website eventually, and then we'll start inviting people, because we'll have a lot more spam control, and we really don't want any garbage there. We want to remove garbage, immediately. Probably on the website, we're going to have all postings are going to require admin approval, and it's a pain in the ass to do that, but you got to do what you're going to do, especially if you've been dealing with a lot of garbage, like we have, just trying to build this thing. So that'll be coming soon as well. And the lights are turning on. The sun is setting. It's not quite dark yet, but it's going to be dark probably in about 10 to 12 minutes or so. We're on our final lap here. In my experience, when it comes to people that have a negativity bias, these are the types of people that are also going to try to get in the way of other people's success. Have you ever had a friend that no matter what you do, no matter how good it is, they always have something negative to say about it, or they'll say, "Oh, you're wasting your time," and it's not worth it and you shouldn't do that, right? And blah, 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 right? It's a negativity bias. A good friend should be like, dude, this may not be for me, but if this is what floats your boat, if this is, what you feel your purpose is, then I got your back, right? How many of you have had a friend that has always responded to you negatively about anything you've talked about with them, right? I've had friends like that, and honestly, I had to remove them from my life. And these are some friends I've had in the past. I had these friends for like 10 to 15 to 20 years. And sometimes you got to remove friends even that you've been friends with that long, because if they're constantly negative and they're constantly just saying, hey, this is not good, don't do this, don't do that. If they're not being supportive, then are they really a friend? Right? Again, nothing wrong with a friend saying, hey, are you sure you want to do this? This might be a waste of your time. I mean, I don't want you to think I don't want to support you, but I've tried something similar before and it didn't work, but it may work for you. You do you, but I'm just saying be careful, but I've got your back, right? I can understand that, but not flat out say, no, don't do it, dude. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I heard from some friends, and I got tired of it. Hey, Woolworth, how you doing? Hey, Eli. Hi, Eli. It's been a while. Thank you for being a channel member, Woolworth. Appreciate it. It's been a while. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. It's great to see you here. I don't know if you've heard that Don and I started a brand new podcast. The first 2 episodes are on the other channel, GNA Genuine GNA Genuine Personal Development. This is GNA 2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Those episodes are also on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and throughout the entire podcast network. You can Google that. Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. If you don't want to watch the video version on the other channel, you can watch it throughout the podcast network, audio only. I was in Europe for 2 months. Oh, what were you doing there? What was going on in Europe? Good for you. You got away. Well, you missed all the shenanigans with Trump. Man. I'm sure you heard all the stories. Travel with my wife. Well, that's awesome, dude. Hey, you know what, dude? If you got a little extra money, and it sounds like you do, to travel and to get away from all the drama and garbage that our country's been facing with the new administration for the last few months, more power to you, man. More power to you, man. No internet for 2 months? Oh, shit. I don't know if I could do that, man. No smartphone, no internet, no nothing for 2 months? Did you go through withdrawals? Like how did you get through that? Or was it just like a cleansing of the soul? Because, I mean, if I had to do it, if I absolutely had to give up internet and laptops and phones and all that, devices for a couple months, I would do it, but I would have to be with my woman, and we would have to be like doing fun exploring for 2 months to keep my mind occupied. When you are in a different land, you just enjoy the scenery. Yeah, that's exactly, you just said the same. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'd want to do. Good food, probably. Did you do any hiking out there? Or you do any hiking? And probably a lot of walking, right? Yeah, at some point, I'd like to take Dawn to Greece. That's going to be at least a couple years out because, money's tight right now, and I don't know if you've noticed the stock market, but the stock market's been tanking out here, and everyone's lost a little money, some more than a little money in their investments, and man, I really hope this turns around. I mean, at some point it's going to turn around at some point, but we'll see. We'll see. Cross your fingers, right? Mostly walking, sightseeing. Yeah, oh, that's good. No, walking, perfect. You probably walk for miles every day. Good exercise, good for the health. Good to stay fit, right? I bet you enjoyed a lot of pasta and a lot of carbs and stuff, right? Yeah, you probably had lots of good food out in Europe. I love Greek food. I haven't been to Greece in a while, and if I was in Greece, I would walk, so I wouldn't let myself gain the weight. And Greek food is very fattening, but it is very, very good. I pulled most money out of stock market when the new president got elected. I knew what was coming. Good for you, man. You know what, dude? I got to give it to you. You already knew the tariff bullshit was coming, right? You already knew it was coming, and you pulled it. And a lot of people have been pulling it. I'm still doing okay. I've lost a little, but I haven't pulled it yet. But I don't know. I got to see what happens this week. Like, I've been really watching the market closely lately, and a lot of people have. Just the level of uncertainty, not only in our country here, but in the U.S., because of Trump and Musk. It's just unreal, man. And what can you do, though, man? Like, I could sit here and cry about it. I could sit here and scream at the top of my lungs. I've just learned to take it with a grain of salt. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be alive and breathing air. I wonder if that cop is still there. He was there. He was pulling in my first lap. He was there the second lap. Maybe he'll be there the third lap. This is the time to buy land and property. Yeah, if you have the money, it is. Except in the Bay Area, dude. Buy land in other areas where you can get it cheaper. Now, I mean, if you have a ton of money to invest in the Bay Area, you can make a return. If you can even put 20% down, but with 20% down, most homes out here are almost $2 million. 20% of that is, you got to put $400,000 down, right? If you got that, and you can hold on to that house for 5 or 10 years, you'll probably make $1 million or $2 million. And that's why, guys like Musk, they have money to play with. They can overcome their losses. When a guy can lose over $100 billion in less than 2 months and still be the richest man in the world, that's that's insane, man. That's insane. More than halfway through the final lap. And back home with my lady, the dogs, and it's family time. Woolworth, at the end of the day, no matter how much money or little money we have, there's nothing worth more than family, dude. There's nothing worth more to me than family, and I think most normal people feel the same way. That's why I've learned as I've gotten older not to really sweat the small stuff. Try to do my best to let things go. And I'm sure you've seen, I've had moments out here on YouTube with crazies, and I've had my moments in the real world too. And at this point right now, I've just gotten to a place of so much peace that I just nothing phases me. Nothing phases me, right? Take it with a grain of salt. You take it one day at a time. Whatever happens that day, you just handle it and move on, right? It's a beautiful night. Oh, the Crepelicious truck is back. Oh, it's back my last lap. I just didn't say anything. I gotta take Dawn to get a Crepelicious ice cream at some point. The last time she was here with me, she saw this truck. She's like, yeah, we should get an ice cream in the future. Or not today, but in the future. That looks really good. Sweet and savory. They even have milkshakes and all that. Crepeliciousday.com. I wonder if they're a franchise company that sells those little trailers, and then you just need a truck. And it sounds like a generator is running that. I wonder if it's like a diesel generator or something. They probably have to refill that every day. They got to keep it constantly on to power that thing, and for all the machinery to work in there and all that. But I wonder how long it would take to be profitable doing something like that. I mean, what will your initial investment be in the whole thing? Like 100 grand? 80 grand, 100 grand? Are there franchise fees? And how many of those milkshakes and crepes do you have to sell to break even? Well, that's why I see them at the park all the time. They're probably working all over Redwood City all the time. But who doesn't like crepes? Who doesn't like high quality, nice milkshakes? Folks, start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just about 5 to 7 minutes or so. We're going to be turning the corner and heading back to the parking lot. If you're struggling with a negativity bias, you can decide to turn that around. You're in full control of how you show up and how you want to be towards others. Expect the stock market to dip into the high 20,000s this week. Well, it's already in the high 20,000s, dude. Isn't the Dow? No, sorry, it's at 38. You're saying you're saying that it's going to go from 38 to like 28? Are you saying that it's going to lose another? Are you guessing the futures are going to be 10,000 lower over the next 7 days? You know it is? Shit. Then I better get. Oh, man. Oh, man. I met a lot of people in Europe. Yeah, well, man, I'm glad you came here tonight, man, because I don't know. I got some decisions to make over the next few days. I mean, we can see what happens tomorrow, but I mean, if the stock market, if the Dow goes down another 2,000 plus tomorrow, then I'm probably going to have to do something. Like, honestly, if you see the Dow go down to 28, that'll be one of the biggest crashes in the shortest amount of time. Like, Trump will be known as the biggest crasher of the economy and the stock market of all time. But yeah, the stocks can dip another 10, the Dow can dip another 10,000. Well, not another, it's dipped like 6 or 7. They can dip 10,000 points this week in 1 week, and people will still say, MAGA, Trump, MAGA, Musk, Trump all the way. Remember, when it gets into the 20,000s, buy. Well, you see, the way you're thinking is what I'm thinking Trump is doing. He's trying to crash the economy so that he can invest when it's low, and then he'll gain when it goes back, right? So buy in the 20s, and then when it goes back up to where it was, yeah. So, I mean, wouldn't that be considered like insider trading? Like, if Trump did that, wouldn't that be considered like treason? Like, honestly, Trump doing shit like that, he should be put away in jail for life. Like, this dude, I mean, maybe that's been the plan all along, and I did think about that, last month when all this shit started to really go downhill, but I mean, Trump's getting destroyed in court. The judges, ordered him to bring that guy back. I think he has until the 9th to comply or something, or the 9th to bring him back. What was it, from Venezuela? Like these judges are really fucking, it doesn't matter if they're on the left or the right. I mean, they've had it with Trump. Lots of people have had it with Trump. Lots of people that voted for him. All the people that voted Biden the last time, like the swing vote, that voted for Trump, they're all done. Even some of the MAGAs are done. Now, most of the MAGAs are still there because most of these MAGAs are like, they'll live and die Trump. Like, if Trump sinks them, they'll just sink with Trump. They don't give a shit. These people are stuck on stupid, and they've got a negativity bias, and they want to lose everything because they want to be loyal to their Lord, Savior, and Messiah, right? All that immigrant talk is just a distraction. Focus on the market. Yeah, no, I agree. But he was ordered to bring that guy back from, I believe, in Venezuela, right? And I'd like to see if he doesn't do that, I'd like to see the Trump administration being held in contempt. But how would that look? Would he just pardon the people that are held in contempt? Like honestly, how do you hold this motherfucker accountable? It's all distraction. They don't care about that guy. I think the judges do. I don't think Trump does. I don't think Trump does. Yeah, it's a smokescreen. So the whole thing is a smokescreen for Trump to intentionally crash the market so then he can buy low. When it comes back, then he's worth like hundreds of billions like Musk. But if that's the case, don't you think that the government will go after him for like insider trading or treason or something like that? I'll wait for your reply and then I'm going to go. We are at 76 minutes, an hour and 26 minutes. 36 in the box, 6 thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, folks. All right. It is all distraction, Woolworth. That makes a lot of sense. Even all of the mass deportations are a distraction, right? That was his goal. Yeah, what a piece of shit, man. What a piece of shit. Well, he could never run again. And, if he keeps on doing stupid shit when he's out of office, then your administration can and will go after him. I tell you, if a Democrat gets into office, I really hope they go after Trump and Musk and bury those guys, because I swear to God, those two guys have been destroying our economy like in record time. I've never seen anything like this, man. I've never seen anything like this. It's not affecting us all that much immediately, but the money we've lost, we're going to need in the future. It's going to affect us in the future. And that's my concern, is being affected financially in the future. Hey, DBD, how you doing? Is that you? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show. Hey, DBD. That's the real you, right? How you doing, man? Yeah, if that's you, DBD, email me. We'd like to interview you over the next couple of weeks on the podcast. We just did episode 3 today with Robert Reese. It'll be released this Wednesday. And episode 4 next week is going to be with my friend Johnny Dilks. Known the guy for the longest time. What a great guy. All right. Leaving 32 in the box. 78 minutes, an hour and 18 minutes. Love you, folks. Be back tomorrow for at least a walk. Who knows? Maybe more. Maybe one of these days, Don and I will do a special stream together, a special live stream together. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.